Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked for Life Fly Fishing. And today we're going to tie a pattern called the Black Maria. Now, it's an Atlantic salmon fly. I think it's the big rivers in Norway. I'm just reading the book here of where this fly was originated and type of conditions it was intended to be used in for Atlantic salmon. However, I think this would be a great steelhead fly, especially black. And I'm tying it on this 1/8 inch copper tube. It's 1.5 inches long. This tube will really get this fly down. So if you're fishing a big brawling steelhead river, this is the type of fly you'd want. Something that gets deep, presents well, it's got some flash, and has a pretty big profile. So let's get looking at the materials. I'm going to be using Vivas Black 6/0 as usual. My rib is gold flattened tinsel. The body is black yarn, and I'm almost out of black yarn. I'm going to have to buy some. The wing is black bucktail. And it uses Flashabou for the wing. It's supposed to be red. That's kind of a fuchsia and black. So I'm going to, this is red. Let's fake it. It's red, okay? Steelhead won't care. Trust me, they'll like the fuchsia just as much as the red. So let's get going and getting our thread on. One of the nice things about tying on these 1/8 inch copper tubes is they don't move, unlike the plastic, which is all over the place. You can really reef on these and they stay put. So let's put our rib and tag, if I can keep it away from the thread, there we go, our rib and tag, the gold. Stuff is very springy. And now for our black yarn. Now just bring your thread and your yarn out of the way while we tie on the tag. There we go. Okay, bring our thread to the back and trap that tinsel. Now let's get the thread out of the way. Now we're going to wrap our yarn, pull tight at the back, get some coverage there, and once you're off that bump, back off the tension. Keep the wraps close together because we try to avoid having copper show through. Tie off our yarn. Now for our rib. Now for our rib. You can put a turn right at the back and then come forward. Now for a black bucktail, and what we're going to do here is this pattern shows the black bucktail is being stacked. So we're going to tie a pretty healthy clump of black bucktail and stack it. Just get rid of the short stuff. This is a fairly robust wing, so I'm going to take advantage. And usually, I like to do mine fairly sparse, but I'm following the pattern book here this time. And we'll go with a stacked bucktail, which is a little thicker than I usually would use. Okay, we're going to bring it back to the knurling, about there. Let's cut that off. Let's bring this back. Pinch loop, Couple of wraps, and let's straighten that up. There we go. Soft wrap at the back, then bring it forward. Bring material to the back. You know, that looks a little bit sparser than I wanted. We'll add a little bit more. It's always easier to add than it is to remove. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Now we add the black Flashabou. The best way to handle Flashabou is grab it by the middle and get a wrap in there. Pull it in place and pull it up. Get a couple of wraps in there to hold it. And then find the length. And this particular pattern shows the Flashabou as being pretty squared off. Again, that's not normally what I would do, but that's how the pattern shows it. Now for our fake red. Again, grab it by the middle. Get a wrap in there. Pull it into position. Fold it over. And cut to length. So what we're going to do now is just finish this off. Some soft wraps at the back to fill up that space. Get everything laying down. Then come forward, finish off. Now, in a previous video you saw where I cut my thread by getting too gung-ho around the nose of the fly. I got into that copper area where the copper and the plastic meet, and it just sliced off my thread. So what you can do is you put some soft wraps in there. You can fill up that space, and then it reduces the odds of you cutting your thread. Again, we now want a nice bulky head that's going to push water, kick all that Flashabou around. Now we whip finish. Now for some UV glue and some top coat. Okay, there's our Black Maria. I know the original pattern calls for red, but for steelhead use, you know, pink or fuchsia, gonna work great. You could even put some, you know, a bright purple on here as well. It's just a topping color, so, you know, you can pick your topping color and do basically the same pattern. You notice I put a lot of gold on here. I know tradition is 5 wraps. I put more than that. I put 6 wraps. You know, when you get long tubes, add more, and the flash doesn't hurt. So there you go, the Black Maria. I think it's going to be a great pattern. I can think of this on the Credit River when the flow rates are up. We work like a charm. So give it a try, the Black Maria. Cheers.